Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Two of Cups. I feel like you are someone who really is you're committed to love. You know, I feel like you're a very kind person. I feel that you enjoy connecting with people on a one-on-one basis. Okay, I feel like you have this ability to make someone feel like they're the only person in the room. Yeah, I feel that you're compassionate. You have a lot of empathy for other people, and I think that you really enjoy lifting other people up. You really can raise the vibrations of a room just by walking into it. You know, you're probably very charming. You probably have a very quick wit. You're probably very curious. You really let people around you, like whoever you're talking to, you really make them feel like you're interested in them. Because I think you genuinely are. Yeah, you're curious about other people, and you want to get to know other people. You want to find the connection under the surface between you and whoever you're talking to. And I think people really feel that. People can feel this genuine love sort of emanating from you. And it makes people want to be around you. I think that you could probably, have your pick of friends and romantic partners if you wanted to, because I think that I think everybody can sense something very authentic in you. Yeah. Let's put this into a little bit of context, okay? Let's see what's going on in your life right now. Okay, well, we've got a Prince of Swords. You have a Fool. You have a Sun. You have a Four of Cups, and you have a 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay. Wealth, value, building something up in your life through your loyalty and your commitment. Okay? Even though we've got this Fool energy down here, I feel like you're a very fun, very playful kind of person. Maybe it's even that you have such a charm, you have such a wit about you, and you make other people feel really, really good, but maybe people don't always believe in your loyalty. Does that make sense? Because this is that card of that genuine energy. I'm talking to you because I'm interested in you and I want to be with you, and maybe, you've had the experience of people doubting your sincerity. Not so much the sincerity, but oh, you say that to everybody kind of thing, So I think that right now it's important that you kind of stay focused on whatever it is you're doing or whoever you're with or whatever situation you're in, because it feels like you're maybe you're being questioned a little bit, okay? Anyway, let's keep going. Path of the Serpent. 9 of Wands, yes. The Ace of Pentacles. A Knight of Wands and a 3 of Wands. You are a very loyal person, okay? I think that you tend to tell the truth. You tend to be very honest with what you tell other people. And you do have this ability to commit. You do have this ability, this inner strength that says that you're not you're not quick to sort of leap into other things. You know, you're not jumping ship when things get a little bit when something better comes along, basically, right? So I think that there may be some kind of gossip or something going around right now in your life, because I feel that like there's kind of like almost a need for you to kind of to prove your loyalty here, or to prove your commitment to something. Kind of with the fixed air energy here, it's kind of Spirit's way of asking you to really lock into your goals right now. Really show your love and your commitment for this thing and continue to build it up. Stay committed, stay strong, don't break any of your promises to this person or to this thing or whatever it is, okay? Especially with this Fool energy underneath the surface here, because, you know, this is a very free-spirited energy. The Fool isn't all that considerate of other people. You know, the Fool will just go around and kind of do whatever it wants. It's always in search of novelty. It doesn't care that other people might get their feelings hurt. You know, you're in someone's life very quickly, and then you're out of their life very quickly. So that energy is there, but right now you're being told to kind of lock in, to sort of keep your promise to somebody. Okay? Stay committed here. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. Well, we got a volunteer. This will be our mystery card right here with Jimbo, the Lizard King, right there on top. And just because I can do anything doesn't mean we're going to look at that card until the end of the reading, okay? It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comment section down beneath the video. Now, as we look around the room here, we see these two. Okay, I think that you are free spirit. I think that you do tend to have fun. You tend to really be in this kind of free-flowing energy where, you know, you're going to go where your curiosity kind of takes you. It's kind of a little bit of wanderlust, a little bit of a restless curiosity here, and that might be very much how you've always kind of been. You know, very charming, very witty, very curious. And kind of a social butterfly in a way. You like to explore, you like to see what's out there and have new experiences. And that's wonderful, that's beautiful, that's perfect. With the Sun card, I feel like you've found something that you want to commit to. So this might be like a search of a career or the hobby, or like me, you're kind of looking for the next book to read, you know. I think you're finding something that you really love, and you're making a promise to it, and you're going to go forward to fulfill that obligation, even when things get a little tough, even when the Fool doesn't really like the 4 and the 5 up here. And the Fool might be getting a little bit of ants in their pants, wanting to sort of leap into something new. Your virtue and your inner strength are going to keep you committed to this path. Okay. So we have our two majors anyway. We've got fire, fire, fire. We've got water, water. We've got air. We've got earth, earth, and earth over here. So that's the Prince of Swords. This is a fixed air energy. This is somebody that can sometimes be indecisive. This could be somebody that doesn't always wants to have like an out. Do you know what I mean? Like kind of always has a plan B. Yeah, there's always like, you know, when you're driving on the freeway, you want to be scanning around. You want to know, like, if something were to happen, how you could quickly move into a different lane, or like you want to know where all of the exits are when you go into a building, right? It's just kind of smart. I think right now you're being told to kind of commit fully, lock in on something. So it implies here that you're in the middle of something now that You really do love. The other party really loves you, and it feels this seems like a match made in heaven. But you've got to make that gesture, some kind of a promise, or even a symbolic gesture that will convey or communicate your intention. Okay, so it's kind of like signing the contract, locking in, kind of, telling the other party, look, I'm committed to this job for the foreseeable future, and I'm all in, And I don't think that's easy for you. I think you have the ability to do it. Of course, you have, the 9 of Wands is your general energy. That is your inner strength. You have the ability to commit to something for as long as you need to. But with that Fool energy under the surface too, I think that in your life you just hadn't found anything that made you want to commit. And this doesn't have to be romance. Put your pitchforks and torches away. It could be. But this is anything with which you feel a real deep resonance. Okay? And so I think this is the one for you. I think this is the one that you want to kind of lock in. But obviously, with our Prince of Swords, there needs to be a choice. You can't stay on the fence. You can't be half in, half out. This is kind of like, this is either like locked in permanent, kind of, you have my full commitment or not. So I do feel like the mystery card is going to be the Lover's card, the card of that kind of a choice. Because sometimes when things start to get a little bit rocky, a little bit tough, or even a little bit boring, right? When the honeymoon period kind of wears off, the Fool is very likely to skedaddle. When the 4 or the 5, when things either get too dull or too kind of difficult, the Fool is going to say, okay, well, I'm out of here. And I'm not saying that's you. I'm saying we all have a little bit of this Fool energy inside of us. Okay? And maybe this is just about kind of somebody else not really sure if you're fully on board. That somebody else might be looking at you and kind of feeling a little bit of the Fool energy. Okay? A little bit, they seem like, not that you're unsure, it almost is like they are a little unsure if you're too good to be true, like if you're going to stick around. Because I feel like both of you, this is a 2 now of Cups, right? I feel like both of you feel this resonance, but they're nervous because they're not sure if you're going to really stick around or if this is just a temporary fleeting thing for you. Okay? And that's why I feel like they are kind of in need of some kind of a gesture for you to say, hey, I'm in this. Like the promise ring or something, or like changing your Facebook status. I don't know what people do these days. But this could be the job. This could be like your boss at work or something like that that's just like, isn't sure if you're going to stick around. Wants you to stick around. And I think you want to stick around too. Okay? But it feels like there's somebody is kind of questioning you. And it's not so much a loyalty, but it's kind of questioning your commitment. It's like, well, we want to give you more money, we want to give you more benefits or more hours or something, but kind of not sure you're really taking this all that seriously, And Gemini, I think that you are taking it very seriously, and I think that just needs to be communicated in whatever way is appropriate in this situation, okay? Because the Fool, like I said, the Fool is very inconsiderate. The Fool likes novelty. The Fool is the traveler. The Fool is the wanderer. And maybe you've kind of been this person for a long time. Not because you aren't capable of commitment, but because you never found the thing that you wanted to commit to. And so you are strong enough and confident enough, and you know yourself well enough that says, I'm not gonna commit to something unless I fully am there, in it, ready. For you, this kind of the kind of commitment we're talking about needs to be soulmate level. I'm not locking in until it's soulmate level. I think this is the one for you. Okay. And so it's kind of time for the Fool to stop its wandering. It's almost like stopping the search, because you've found it now. And I think this really is a testament to your character, that you will not settle for less. If it's not the right thing for you, you're not going to promise and agree to it and do all that kind of stuff. That's not fair to anybody. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the other party. So I think you are a very honest person, and I think that if you go into a job, you're going to say, "Hey, look, I'm only going to be here for a few weeks, and then I'm out, because I know this isn't for me." Or if it goes a month or two, and you say, "Hey, look, I gave it a chance, but I'm not feeling it. This isn't what I want. So I'm not gonna sign the 5-year contract or whatever. I'm not gonna lock in permanently." I think it's the same way with relationships too, And I think it actually is a very considerate energy when you have these two combined. Because very often the Fool will the Fool will just ghost somebody. But since you have the Prince of Swords also, I feel like you're very honest to say, "Look, I'm not feeling this. I need to continue on." It's not because you're incapable of commitment. Remember, you got the 9 of Wands here. You're not incapable of commitment. But if it's not the right thing for you, you're not going to commit to it. And that is the right thing, the virtuous thing to do. It's not virtuous to commit to something even if you don't like it, just because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Yeah. So I think that's a really admirable quality for you. But with the sun in the background, okay, this feels like an illumination. This feels like something really is lighting you up. I think that whatever this is, if it's a person, a place, or a thing, it's bringing you such enlightenment, such clarity, because I feel like it is the one for you. Now, I want you to hit the like button if this is resonating with you, and let me know what this moment was. Was this like a love at first sight? Was this like a slow rising of the sun over the horizon, where you slowly realize that, hey, this is the thing I want to commit to this forever, Or was it, maybe something that you kind of were trying to deny for a while and say, no, that's not, and then just kind of suddenly you just surrender to it and you say, you know what, it really is the one I want, the thing I want, the job, the career, the house, the destiny, whatever it is, the person. So the sunrise, interestingly, this can either be just suddenly your eyes open and suddenly you're awake. Okay. Or it could be that gradual realization, a nice slow sunrise. You go from the dark of night, and slowly the sky starts to get brighter and brighter and brighter. Okay. Or it literally could just be, you open your eyes, suddenly it's noon, and it had days half over. It's bright and sunny in your bedroom already. So let me know how that happened for you. But I feel like this was the realization. This was the awakening, either quick or slow, that kind of showed you that this is the thing for you. And now it's important that you make the commitment. Okay. Now it's important that you sort of you communicate effectively what your intentions are. When we go up to the top and we see a 4 of Cups, sometimes the 4 of Cups is us masking something. We are pretending we like it, while inside the Fool wants to run away. Okay? And I think that that has to be something that you're very honest about too, and I think that you are in those situations, right? Where you're not, inside, deep in your soul, you're not feeling it and you want to kind of continue on your journey. It's kind of like you're at the mall or you're at a fair or something, and you're kind of like you're window shopping, and the salespeople are saying, "Yeah, come on in and buy something," and you're saying, "No, thank you, I'm not interested." Instead of just kind of being sucked in there, and then you're in the store, and then you end up buying something that you didn't want anyway. I think that you're able to sort of communicate your intentions effectively. Yeah, and that's what you're being called upon to do right now. I feel like part of this commitment for you is in the Four of Cups aspect of things where the honeymoon period kind of ends, right? Because the Four of Cups, it's like the boat's not sinking. Nothing's really wrong, but there's no excitement either. So it's just kind of like bland almost, like just routine, very milquetoast kind of thing. I think that you have to be ready to endure some days like this. Not every day is going to be bright, sunny, exciting, blissful, kind of days. Some days are going to be just blah, normal, average, kind of, milquetoast, bland kind of things. Not everything has to taste spectacular, something we're trying to teach our daughter. She's 5. But she, we're trying to feed her healthy food, and sometimes she says, I don't like the way that tastes. Like, okay, well, you know what? You're not always going to. It doesn't taste bad. She's just like, I don't like it. Not everything you eat has to be salty and sugary and spicy and just, like a party in your mouth. Not every day is going to be a party on the boat. Okay? Not every day is going to be like the boat sinking either. Some days are just going to be, well, it just tastes kind of normal. It just tastes kind of bland, and it's whatever, but we eat it. We endure it sometimes because we have to, because it comes with the territory. Not every meal can be, the Michelin star best meal you ever had, kind of, world-class gumbo. As much as we may wish that it was, Sometimes we're eating for sustenance and not for that kind of party on the boat. And I think that's a very important realization in whatever this commitment is for you. If it's work, if it's home, if it's school, if it's a lover, if it's an idea, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Okay? And maybe it's this idea that, a lot of days, most days are going to be like that. Okay? Most days are going to be like that. But I think that when you have the Two of Cups, when you have this actual, deep, real soulmate love, these days are still glorious days, right? The 4 plus the 2 is the 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups is pleasure. The 6 of Cups is, I wouldn't trade this day for anything. The worst days, even with the 5, really, the most boring days with this person are going to feel better than any of your best days without that person. If it's a person or a job or whatever, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a dog. Maybe you're getting a plant. I don't know. But see, this is kind of like the most boring day. As long as you're like with that person, it's the best day ever. Okay? So I like that combination. And I think that you're feeling this. And so this is somebody that you're willing to have a boring day with. And that's maybe a test of whether this is a real thing. When this gets boring and gets routine, are you still going to like the job? Are you still going to want the relationship? When it's just like daily life kind of, two people existing together kind of life. Trying to think about what's for dinner or like doing laundry or like cleaning the bathroom or something. Is that still going to feel like I'm in love? Like I still, is it still going to be that connected for you? And that's a good question. And the same thing at the job too, right? Not only that, but we also got this volunteer pentacles card with the 5 of Pentacles. So it's Spirit's asking you for better or for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health. What are you saying there? Okay, are you willing to struggle? Are you willing to sort of hike through the snow with this person? Are you willing to endure the lean years with this person? Okay. And I think it's important here because, look, we have now the 5 plus the ace. We have another 6. You have a 6 of Cups. The love, the meaning, the harmony, the purpose, the togetherness, the family, the bond, the intimacy. And you have the 6 of Pentacles, right? Which is the successful team. Working together to solve problems, working together. It's kind of like there's no one else I'd rather work hard and earn money with than you. You know? And so the unity of the Ace of Pentacles here, it's like you will happily suffer through any scarcity, knowing that your unity with this person or job or whatever is going to solve the problem. That together, as one whole unit, as a team, we can get the success. We can succeed. We can get through any problem, any challenge, any trial, any of the money worries, any of the physical worries. Does that make sense? I hope I'm explaining that right, because this is awesome that we got that Six of Cups, and then of course Spirit gave us this extra card, jumped out of the pack to give us the Six of Pentacles too. So this is something that not only is going to be good for you physically and financially, and is going to feel like success and beauty and resonance and harmony and teamwork, but emotionally it's going to feel like teamwork. Emotionally it's going to feel like family. Whether it's a person, a place, a thing, a job, again, it doesn't matter. The idea here is that your most boring days are going to feel like bliss because you're with that person. The most challenging financial troubles that you might have are going to be, one, triumphed over, right? Because of the unity that you have with this person or the job or, again, whatever. So I like that. I think this is very, very interesting. The Ten of Pentacles in the future position, that's the life that you're building. Okay, and Spirit is very clearly saying that whatever this is, you can build a life with it. You can build your best life with it. It's not just money. The tens of the tarot, especially the Ten of Pentacles, contains every single other card. Contains all the cups, all the swords, all the wands are contained in here. This is the scaffolding, this is the vessel, this is the building. Inside of this is all, mainly the water. The way I look at this card is that the Ten of Pentacles is really 10 empty cups. You need the water to fill the cups. Otherwise, the life's just empty. So if you have kind of one thing without the other, then it's not gonna work. If you have just the financial, if you're doing this just for the money, it's not going to work. Okay? And I think that's kind of the important thing. You don't want your pentacles to be empty shells. There has to be meaning and purpose and love there. This isn't just, an agreement because it's like, well, we can just kind of share the bills and we'll both it'll be good for us both financially, right? Okay, well, let's do it. I feel like for you, there has to be that depth there. Because this is not just money. It's not just the physical. Okay, there has to be meaning and purpose. This is a card of wealth. And wealth is so much more than just finances. Okay, this is the life that you are building. This is your big rock candy mountain. That's your paradise, your Garden of Eden. That is the good life. That's the future. So it's really Spirit's way of saying, look, your future in this partnership, whatever it is, your future is going to be very, very abundant. Okay. Now, Path of the Serpent, we're going to talk about these cards. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Let me know if this is resonating with you. Okay. The Nine of Wands is your ability to commit. I think you're somebody that does not like to make promises. Why? Because you don't like to break promises. So you're not going to make a promise that you know you can't keep because you're a very noble person. You have virtue. You have a spiritual compass inside of you that's saying, I'm not going to commit to something that I know I'm not likely to be able to fulfill. You're not making promises just to appease somebody, just so they can calm down and feel better for the day. No, you're gonna give it to someone straight and say, I can't commit to that. You think you'd be here for 5 years? I don't think so. No, maybe a year, and then I'll get bored and I'll leave, or I'll find something better, or this is a stepping stone job for me, or something like that, right? And I think people appreciate that honesty. Because when you make a commitment, nothing is going to break you of that commitment. When you promise something, when you give your word and you make an oath, it's going to take an act of God as deity. It's going to take a natural kind of thing, something superhuman, really, to get you to break your promise, because that's the kind of person you are. Okay, and maybe this is because when you were a kid, people used to break their promises to you, or somebody hurt you bad, breaking their promise. I think you take it very seriously now. This is an inner strength. This is your backbone. This is your resolve. Okay. So you are someone who maybe people kind of see someone like a fool who's job after job, kind of jack of all trades, kind of never settles down, never puts roots anywhere, doesn't know what they want. No, you know what you want, and that's why you're the wandering fool. Because you're not just going to find something and commit to it and say, that's my life now. People look at you like the wanderer because you're searching for what really is going to resonate with your heart the most, and what really feels like that soulmate kind of, situation. Because you don't commit to things and then just break your commitments like a lot of people probably do. So you would rather wander around searching for something that really truly is going to bring this out of you. And this feels like a really powerful energy for you right now. In the environment, in the position of your relationships, we have the Ace of Pentacles, which tells me that this is kind of a new thing. Either it's a new relationship or it's a new job that you're going to start, that you're going to commit to, or at least you're doing so on a higher level. Maybe this is somebody you've already been dating. You're kind of taking it to a more serious level. Or this is a bunch of different interviews that you've gone on. And maybe you've gotten a lot of different offers. This is you kind of picking the thing to join forces with. You're choosing unity. The two become one. Yeah, the two become one. The Two of Cups becomes one unit now. So this is kind of, you're starting a new path together with someone or something as a unit. Okay, so it's very good. The unwanted energy is the Knight of Wands here. Okay, I think for a couple of reasons. One, you're not somebody that jumps into something without thinking it through first. You're not somebody that just kind of leaps first and then asks questions later. No, that's not. You don't want to feel like you're being impulsive. So I think that that's why the kind of the revelation happened earlier. Now there's this kind of the need for communication and the sort of the official gesture, whatever you want to call it, because I think you've given yourself time to really make sure this is the right thing. The Knight of Wands is a card that is very impulsive and is ready to leap forward into action. You don't want to leap into something and commit to something that you're going to have to then kind of go back on your word, right? So you take your time before leaping. But then I think once you make up your mind, then you can go ahead and leap. And in that sense, see, every card has light and shadow. And the shadow side of this card is that you're not thinking, you're just diving into something. And, well, then you commit to something, and then a week later, you're going to have to, uncommit, right? And that's not your style. The light side of this card is your ability to go all in on something. That there's no part of you that's still on the fence. You don't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're not going to be, mostly committed over here, but then still have some other plans over here, some other side things going on, Some other, like the plan B that's still... No, once you make the decision, you go all in. You give it everything you have. All of your time, effort, energy, money, and space is being funneled into this thing, the person, place, or thing. No part of you is being held back or reserved. And that's why you don't commit to things easily. Because when you do, you go hard, you go all in. So that's why maybe you hesitate before you fully commit, because you know that you commit hard. To me, that's the right way to do it. Okay. 3 of Wands, virtue. the vision, the clarity. Okay, I think you do have that spiritual compass that's pointing you in the right direction right now. You know the right thing to do, and I think that you have a very clear perception of who you are and why you're here and what you want. I feel like you know yourself. There is a gnosis. Okay. And I think that's why we have the Fool here to talk about. You know yourself well enough to say, if I'm not fully feeling that Two of Cups, I'm not going to commit to something because I know myself. I know that I will hold something back, and then in a week or a month or a year, I'll be out again. I'll bounce, And so having this self-knowledge, this knowledge of self, okay, is allowing you to really be discerning and to really be able to identify that true love situation when you find it. And that, to me, that's a gift. Most people don't know that. Most people lock in on things that they think, well, maybe this could be my soulmate, and they lock in on something only to find out sooner, hopefully rather than later, that it wasn't, and then you got to undo it. So I think that you're someone that probably doesn't overcommit to things. You don't overpromise. You don't give people assurances that you're not actually feeling. Okay, you're very energetically honest. Yeah. Let's look at our mystery card. I think maybe the Empress. I think a Lovers. I think another two. Maybe a Two of Swords. Maybe another Two of Cups or the Lovers card. It might be an Ace of Cups. It might be the Wheel of Fortune. It could be a Six of Swords. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments beneath the video. Let's check it out. The Strength card, yes. The Strength card is discipline, self-control. Okay? It's kind of like taming the wild beast. And it may be an adjustment for you to go from kind of being an outside cat to an inside cat. Okay? We're not trying to domesticate the lion, but we're just trying to hold the reins and just tame it a little bit. Okay, so I think it is going to be hard work for you. It's hard work that you're more than capable of handling, but it's going to require discipline. It's going to require self-control. It's going to require courage and strength and the commitment. See, this is a Leo energy. It's a fixed fire. Okay, it's a fixed fire energy. So it is saying that, look, this is something that it's going to be very exciting at the beginning. But then once that initial excitement wears off, it's going to be hard work and discipline and showing up every day and demonstrating your commitment, proving your commitment, and doing the hard work even when it's not fun, even when it's not exciting. It's kind of like staying motivated, even on those days where you don't want to get up out of bed and go and do the thing. Okay? But Spirit's saying that you have this ability. And that's your way forward. This is what is sort of, guiding you into the future now, is your strength and your courage to follow through with what you're committing to right now. Because it is meant for you. Yeah. It's very, very exciting. I like this a lot. We're going to do an extended reading too. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link in the video description right here. New readings for Gemini Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.